So please read through this book and solve its exercises also. Okay. Yes. What is it? Students, if there is any issue, if I ask you what it is, please tell me. Okay. Don't keep interrupting in between like that. It really breaks the flow of words in my mind. Okay. I'm not able to concentrate or focus properly here. Vayu Logia, no? Yes, I got it. See, you will be removed from the meeting if you are not interested and you are causing problems. Because in this class, I only want those people to stay who really want to study. Keep your mic muted under all circumstances. So here we are. 1 second. Yes, so all you have to study from this book also. Okay, so please download this book, and also you have to download another book, that is information technology, this one, class 9, and I'll show you that book also. It is this book, domestic data entry operator. So this is the book which you have to download. It contains everything related to part B. So employability skills contains everything related to part A, and this contains everything related to part B, like introduction to IT, ITES industry, data entry and keyboarding skills, digital documentation, that is your word processor. Now this book contains everything related to LibreOffice. Okay. So don't worry, I'll be posting videos for LibreOffice also very soon. So you have to do it accordingly. So now let's move on to our today's class. But before that, firstly, I'm stopping the share because I'll be asking a few questions to you all. So get ready with today's questions first.
Ma'am, for answering, we can raise our hand.
Yes, you can raise your hands. I'll ask anyone to answer. Okay. My very first question is, listen very carefully. Renewing vehicle road tax, applying for passports, applying for immigration visas is an example of benefit of ICT in which field? I am repeating the question. Renewing vehicle road tax, applying for passports, applying for immigration visas. These are benefits of ICT in which field? Yes, Suyog Gupta.
Ma'am, benefits of ICT in governance.
Very good answer. Very good. Wonderful. Okay, let me ask you something else. Yes. Online servers to store large amount of data, quick and cost-effective communication, online interaction with insurers for buying policies. Okay, this is an example of benefits of ICT in which field? I'm repeating. Online servers to store large amount of data, quick and cost-effective communication, and online interaction with insurers for buying policies is an example of benefits of ICT in which field? Yes, Ajay Vikram Singh.
Benefits of ICT in business.
Very good. Benefits of ICT in business. And I found the answer to your question also, which I'll be describing at the end of the class. Next is CAD and CAM, that is computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing, is an example of benefits of ICT in which field? Yes, Asmita Ekka.
Benefits of ICT in design and manufacturing.
Wonderful answer. Very good answer. Benefits of ICT in design and manufacturing. Okay, coming down. Name 3 e-shopping sites. Name 3 e-shopping sites. Anyone? Raise your hands. Name 3 e-shopping sites. Yes, Poonam Yadav.
Flipkart, Amazon,
Yes.
and Shopcluse.
Very good. Flipkart, Amazon, Shopcluse. Apart from this, we also have ebay.in. We also have myntra.com. Okay.
Shein,
Jabong.com, indiatimesshopping.com, Snapdeal.
Snapdeal.
Snapdeal. Yes.
Myntra,
Yes.
Snap,
Yes.
Zara.
Very good. So
Myntra.
these, very good. Yes. Yes. All of these, and they are online shopping
Myntra.
sites. Yes, I already said Myntra. Okay.
AliExpress.
Okay. Next question is, give me 2 points of differences between a smartphone and a tablet. Give me 2 points of differences between a smartphone and a tablet. Yes, Nior.
Ma'am, the size
Yes, size and
smartphone is as smaller than a tablet.
okay, that is size. And one more. Anyone else? Yes, Apurva. 1 point has been given by Nior. I want another point.
Ma'am, tablet work like a computer and smartphone cannot work like a computer.
No, dear, see, smartphone is also a computer. It also has a CPU. I had shown it to you a few days ago that smartphone also contains a CPU which contains application processing unit, communications signals processing unit, graphical processing unit. Okay, and it has all the various units also, like a camera subsystem. It has a display subsystem. So it also works like a computer, but the fact is it contains less memory support as compared to a tablet. Okay, because tablet has a bigger screen, so tablet also provides you more battery backup as compared to a smartphone. Okay, fine. There are 2 types of keyboards. Can anyone name them? 2 types of keyboards. 2 categories, 2 main categories of keyboards.
One is basic and
Bolo. One is
Ma'am, standard
basic.
and enhanced.
very good. Standard and enhanced. Very good, Suyog. Standard contains how many keys? 83 to 84 keys. Enhanced contains 101 or more keys. Okay. Yes, it depends. That's why it is said 101 or more keys. So modern day multimedia keyboards, you may find all the different keys like start, play, pause, okay, sleep, then wake up. Then you may also find any special keys related to internet to take you to the home page or go to the next page or go press back so that you can go to the previous web page. So all these options. Okay. What are the cursor control keys? What are the cursor control keys on the keyboard? What is the function of the cursor control keys? Aditya Singh, yes, 9C, Aditya Singh, answer.
Ma'am, to move the cursor left, up, down and right.
Very good. To move the cursor left, right, up and down. Okay. Next question is, there are 2 sets of keys on the keyboard. One is the navigational keys, which you already see. Another one comes integrated with which keys?
Number.
Your cursor control keys.
Ma'am, the numeric keys.
Very
Ma'am,
good, very good,
8,
Devyansh.
4,
They come
6
with
and 2.
Numerical
yes,
keys.
wonderful, very good, Devansh. He also pointed out the keys also. 8 is for up, 6 is for right, 2 is for down, and 4 is for left. So they come integrated with the numeric keys. Which button you can switch between these? Which button can you use to switch between? Yes, it is the num lock key. Okay. If your num lock key is on, which keys will be activated? If your num lock key is on, which key will be activated? Numbers. And if it is off, the arrow keys will be activated. Very good. So coming down. Yes, there are some keys which are used to, there are some, listen very carefully, okay? There are two important keys on the keyboard which are used to move either to the beginning of the sentence or the end of the sentence. Which are those two keys? Yes, Deepak Kumar, don't just answer like that. I will be asking the question. I will be asking a student to answer. Just raise your hands, okay? Yes, Deepak Kumar, 9C.
End key.
And one more. इसके साथ एक और है home key. Yes, home key and end key. These are the two keys which go hand in hand. Fine. Next is, there is a special key on the keyboard with which we can take a screenshot. Raise your hand. Purva Pachoria. Yes.
Ma'am, print screen.
Very good. There is a print screen key on the keyboard with which you can take the screenshot. Fine. Okay, so let's come down. There is a special input device which is used for playing games. There is a special input device which is used for playing games. Yes, Vedika.
Ma'am,
Yes,
joystick.
very good, joystick. It is a special input device which is used for playing games. Along with this, we also have another one, that is gaming pad. Okay, gamepad. You might have seen gamepad which comes along with the gaming consoles. Okay, which two people are sitting and they are quickly pressing the keys on it. That is a gamepad. And one more, we get a remote also, motion sensing remote. You can simply wear that. That remote has a small you can say it has a small belt which you can just wrap around your wrist, and you can move, you can swing the remote in any direction to perform some activities like killing your opponent, or you can also say punching your opponent, or escaping a difficult situation.
Problem, I left the meeting.
Okay, doesn't matter. Good that you told me.
I'm same with me.
Okay, no problem. Yes, I can understand because today it's rainy weather and most of not only students but teachers are also facing a lot of network problems because at certain areas are suffering with a power outage, and there are network problems also at many areas. So I can understand. So it's good that you inform me. Okay, so I'm not kept in the dark. Okay, so we will start with today's class. So we are going to start with session 8, that is internet. Session 8, that is internet. So what is internet?
Please start recording.
I started here. It's already recording. So internet is what? It is a global interconnected computer network in which every computer connected to it can exchange data with any other connected computer. So it's a global interconnected computer network. Okay. Small networks all around the world, when they are collected together, they form your internet. And this internet can be used for sharing information, sharing data, sharing resources, sending messages, connecting to your friends and relatives, and much more. Widely used services of internet are emailing, sharing files, instant messaging, sharing information, reading news headlines, shopping, downloads, and much more. You already know. Right now also for taking this class, we are using internet. Now let's talk about a little bit about the internet's history. This is a timeline which you can see. As I click on a particular date, you will see what happened. 1962, JCR Licklider conceives of the idea of a galactic network. From this comes the word galactic. Galactic and galactic से क्या word आता है? Galaxy.
Galaxy.
What is a galaxy? Can anyone tell me?
A
Yes,
galaxy
Abhishek.
contains of many stars.
Yes, it is a huge collection, a cluster of millions and millions of stars. Not even millions, you can say billions and trillions of stars. Like you have the Milky Way galaxy, Andromeda galaxy, Messier 87 galaxy. So these galaxies are what? They are a cluster of multiple stars. So similarly, if can you imagine how many computers or network devices are part of the internet today? You cannot even think about it. Why? Because it has almost as many computers as you can think of, as many stars are there in the galaxy. Okay, so this becomes a galactic network. 1969, ARPANET goes online, connecting 4 computers, the very first internet. Very first internet. That is ARPANET. And when I talk about ARPANET, it stands for, one second, Advanced Research Project Agency Network, which was created by the Department of Defense, USA. Basically, it was created as a part of a DARPA project, that is Defense as Advanced Research Project Agency Network. So it became ARPANET. That is, they had created this network by connecting 4 computers in USA, and slowly and gradually what happened that people kept on connecting computers to it, and this gave rise to what we have today, that is internet. 1972, Ray Tomlinson invents email. 1983, internet protocols begin. Just 1 year before my birth, my date of birth is, year of birth is 1984. Then 1989, the World Wide Web is developed with World Wide Web, www.google.com, World Wide Web which you use. 1994, first graphical web browser is developed, that is Mosaic. The very first graphical web browser. Before that, people used text-based web browsers, where you had to remember commands, and to open any website, you had to first connect to it, and then you had to key in its IP address or its URL, and then only you could read the information. Next is 1995, barriers to commercial activity are lifted, that is internet. On internet, all the services are free. Only thing, you have to pay a monthly rental for accessing internet, but then email is free service, video teleconferencing is a free service, right? All the things which you do on internet, that becomes free. A decentralized system. Internet is a decentralized system, that is, it follows this one. Okay, this is a centralized system, that is, one node does everything. This is distributed. Now what happens if in a centralized system is, if this node stops working, what happens? The entire network will collapse. Similarly, in a distributed network also, if suppose this node stops working, all these small hosts or computers will stop working. That is, this whole part of your network will be failed.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Whereas in case of a decentralized, yes, what is it? Somebody said something. Yes, yes, Ananya.
Due to a network issue, I have rejoined the meeting.
Okay, good. So decentralized means now because internet is decentralized, even if this node stops working, rest of the internet keeps working. There is some outage somewhere. Oh, okay, your net will work slowly, but it will still keep working. So internet is a decentralized system. Some internet users, yes.
Ma'am, can you please repeat this?
When I talk about internet, it is a decentralized system, which means, okay, I think I should show a video for this. Wait a second. People will understand this in a better way. One sec, let me just give me a minute, students. I'm just stopping the share because I want to show you that small video. So when I talk, in the meantime, I'll be opening the video. Okay. Wait a second. Let me share. I have to first include system audio and I'll be sharing this. Okay.
When you use the internet, what happens? Whether you go online to chat with a friend, or send mail, or buy a book, or check the weather, watch a movie, or study the Peloponnesian War, it feels like there's one wire connecting you directly to the thing you want. But a billion other people are connecting to a billion other things at the same time. How does that happen? It's really about making agreements. Think of networking as a game. It only works if we agree to play by the same rules. Otherwise, it's not much fun. If you can get 2 or more computers to play together, you have a network. If your friend can do it too, there's another network. But if you both agree that your networks will play the same way, now you can hook the 2 together. You have an internetwork. The rules we play by are called the Internet Protocol. And as long as we all agree, we can keep adding more devices and more networks until the whole world is connected. That's what the internet is, a network of networks that share each other. Every device on the internet has its own unique address. Anything you send via internet is really just a message from one device to another. But it doesn't travel in one big block. It gets pulverized into tiny packets of data, each one wrapped with info about what it is, where it came from, and where it's going. This way, your one message can actually take several different paths to its destination. Then, by following the protocol, the receiving device knows how to put it all back together. The strength of the internet is that it's decentralized. With so many possible connections, there is no single point of failure. If one path gets overloaded or broken, your data just takes a different path. Even if a big chunk of the internet gets wiped out, your message can still find its way. But let's say you use one internet provider and your friend is on a different one. How does your data really get from one network to the other? Some companies make private connections with each other to exchange traffic. But more and more traffic is flowing through shared service platforms we call Internet Exchange Points. An Internet exchange is a place where many different organizations come together to interconnect their technology. There may be access providers, broadcasters, publishers, social network sites, telecom operators. Really, anybody who relies on network traffic can benefit from the exchange. By connecting in a common place, they save costs, and the traffic between them flows faster and much more efficiently. Traditionally, providers have sold each other passage on their networks. But for some providers who regularly exchange traffic, all that buying and selling can get to be more trouble than it's worth. Many of them saw that if they just agreed to meet each other halfway, then everybody's costs go down and the traffic moves more smoothly. Providers are able to make a single connection to the platform to exchange traffic with many participants. This way of doing things is called peering, and it's making the internet faster and more affordable for everybody. The exchange participants make deals with each other according to mutual benefit, so the peering system tends to regulate itself. It may seem like companies are giving away their services, but in fact, each is providing their part of the whole solution their customers need to most efficiently and reliably exchange traffic. The internet is open, decentralized, and totally neutral. Its intelligence lives at the edge, not in the core. No single organization controls it, and that's why it works as well as it does. By agreeing to cooperate, we all make the internet happen. And that's how the internet happens.
So I hope you all understood how internet is decentralized system. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
hence,
Okay, good. So internet users, you
Ma'am,
can see in this. Yes, Beta, please let me teach.
ma'am, attendance.
Attendance I have taken. I think no. Okay, I have to take. Wait. Yes, I've taken it. So now you can see in 2006 we had less number of users. Okay, then in 2010 it grew a little, 2016, and now 2019 it is more than 4,000 millions. Okay, so this is how number of users of internet is increasing every day. Some users of internet, so you can just see some users surfing and searching, email, chatting, e-learning, e-commerce, entertainment. These are some of the users of internet. First we see surfing and searching. So what is this? It is known as basically finding information on the web. Browse, surf, search the web. These are some of the terms which we use to specify that data is searched on the web. Okay, if you want to search something on the web, what do? You simply open your web, you just open your browser, like I'm going to show it to you here.
Ma'am, you have not shared.
I'm not shared the screen.
Yes, ma'am, your
Okay,
screen.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see it
Yes,
now?
no, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm
Yes,
No,
Wait for
ma'am.
a little bit.
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
Wait
I'm
for a
Now
little
we
bit.
can see.
Okay, I'm giving you
Yes,
time.
ma'am.
Wait for a little. Okay. So now here, what will I be doing? I'll be opening a search engine. Normally, you can see that most modern browsers, they already come with an integrated search. That is, you can already see if I type anything over here, it will open Google search engine. Or otherwise, what you can do, you can just go to the search box here. Just type here google.com. Everything after that, press enter, and you will be able to see the search box of Google. Okay, and here what you can do is you can just type anything, like I can type something regarding internet. What is internet? Center, and you can find its information over here. Okay, I want to know about some fancy restaurants near me. So I can just press enter and I'll get information about all the restaurants which are there. Okay, so I can click on any of these and I can go to that particular website. So you can see it over here also. These are some of the search engines which are popular, and out of that, of course, Google is the most popular. And we also
Ma'am,
have
my
a
app
product
was
of
not working, so I
Microsoft.
have to rejoin the app.
Okay, fine, no problem. There is one of them that is Bing search. Okay, so if I'll just show you Bing search, how this works. It already comes integrated with Microsoft Internet Explorer and Microsoft Edge browsers.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm just going to type here
Yes,
bing.com,
ma'am.
Ma'am, it is
and this is
used.
Bing. You can see Bing, and here also it works like Google only. You can just type something. What is a supercomputer? So I just type this, and you can get information, and its interface is almost a copy, an exact copy of Google. Okay, so you can
Yes,
see it
ma'am.
over here, right?
Ma'am,
Also, you
when we
can make.
search,
Uh-huh.
ma'am, when we search it also tell us that you have searched that Bing search it is called.
It's Bing search, Bing. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
bing.com. It's a
Bing
product of
search.
Microsoft. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, so I'll just make a comparison. Suppose I want to know what is a supercomputer and I press enter. So this is Google search, this is Bing search. Now, if I want, I can also search for images of supercomputer. So I'll click on images. So this will give me all images of supercomputer. Like you can see the image for this is the image of the fastest supercomputer in the world, that is Summit, which is the fastest supercomputer till date. Okay.
Ma'am,
Suppose, yes,
ma'am, is there any difference in Google search and that Bing search?
different, both of them use the same technology. Only thing is, they are from different makers. Okay. As you can see, Bing is also an exact copy of Google search, like the type of search which Google provides. If you search for any term, it will give you its definition. This is the very first information which you get. So at you get a quick glance about it. Then you can also see some additional
Yes,
questions
ma'am.
which people ask and other things. Okay. Friends, if you have
Yes,
any
ma'am.
doubts, my request, please note down your question somewhere, and please avoid interrupting me in between, because my flow of words
Okay.
really gets affected. Okay, so please write your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them at the end of the class. Fine. So apart from
Okay,
this, you
ma'am.
can also get information, like you want to check out some latest news about supercomputers, so you can click on news. So here you will get some latest news related to that. Sometimes for image search, you can also make use of certain tools. Like I click on tools and I get information, like I can select the size. I want only large sized images. So I'll click on large. This will only give me the large images, high resolution images. Okay. So when I click on the images, you can check its resolution over here. It's 1200 by 686, which is quite high resolution. Okay, it's a high res image. You can right click on this, save it as image somewhere. So I can save it as image, and I'm saving it in class 9 folder, images folder. And you can also check it. I can open this folder, and here you can find. Just wait for it, so you can see a high resolution image. It can be downloaded to your computer as well. Okay. And color, you can also set some color, like you want transparent background, so you can select images only with a transparent background. So when you click on them, you will find that these images don't have a background. Okay, so these are images which are with a transparent background. Mostly we try to get images with a transparent background for clip arts, right? Then next is you have Lycos, Alta Vista, Yahoo, and so on. So choose a search engine which suits your needs. Type in one or more words describing your topic. Okay, and that way you can easily search for your required information. Next is email. Why is email used? Email is the short for electronic mail. Most popular of the internet services. Messages are sent and received in a few seconds. Attachments such as photos, music files, and any document may also be sent with the message, but there is a restriction. You can only send data up to 20 MB. 20 or 25 MB, not more than this. Okay, if you want to send data more than this, you have to upload it to any cloud application like Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive. And you can share the link. Got it? So you can do that. I'll show that to you in a short while. Then next is chatting. So before going to chatting, I'll just show that to you. So I'm going to open Microsoft. I'm sorry, not Microsoft. I'm going to open my Google Drive account. So what I'll be doing is, this is my Google Drive account. So I'm clicking on Google Drive and I'm going to quickly switch my Drive account. So this is my Google Drive account from another account, and you can see so many folders, and all these folders contain a lot of information. Okay, suppose I want to share any particular file with someone. So what I'll be doing is, I can, like this is a document, so I can share it with somebody. I want to send this document to someone, so I will right click on it. I will click on share option. And here I will be typing the email address of the person with whom I am sharing this file. So when I type the email, what will happen? That person will automatically get the file. There is another option for share, that is get a link. Anyone on the internet with this link can view. So you have to first select. Usually by default, restricted is selected. You can change this to anyone with the link, that is any person who has the link can access this file. Now you can decide whether that person should be able to view this document only, or view and comment, or even edit the document. That's up to you. Normally you should, on a shared platform, when you only want people to read your document, you can only set it to viewer or commenter, not editor. Okay, and you can copy this link and you can paste it in WhatsApp and send it to any person which you want. So this Google Drive allows you to even share or even send large files with people. Like for example, I have this folder here, designs and flexes. So it contains all the designs which I had created so far, and it contains all those designs which are very heavy. So what I can do is I can simply right click on it, and what I can do is I can just share it with someone. And when I share it with somebody, I can easily when I share it with somebody, I can also provide some message along with this. So what will happen? That person can download this large file from the link which is shared. Okay, so these days sharing large files is also not a big problem. Next is chatting. Instant chatting is also, it also stands for instant messaging. Okay, instant messaging systems let a user know when a friend or business associate is online. So I don't need to tell you anything about this because you already have been doing it through WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. These all are instant chat applications. Okay, Snapchat, these all are instant chat applications. So they are real-time text-based conversations. Next is e-learning. What is e-learning? Learning online. If you want to take classes sitting at the comfort of your home, okay, you can use e-learning sites or e-learning websites. Like for example, you can see this. This is an e-learning website, and basically it's for kids. It's written over here, e-learning for kids. So you can easily search for such websites, and here when you click on any one topic, you get computer, environmental skills, math, general, science courses, health, life skills. Suppose I select science courses, so you will be taken into a menu playing with plants and animals, thermometers, air pollution, weather. So all these things are there. So you just select any of these and just go into it. And you may also be needed to sign in. So I'll provide my name, click on OK, and I'll learn about, yes, I saw it. I have already set the alarm on my computer. So you can learn about a thermometer. So this is for kids. Apart from this, you also have some many e-learning sites. You want to learn anything, like for example, I'll just wrap up with this last topic, students. Suppose you want to learn Python programming. So you can just type here online free Python tutorial for beginners. You can just type this and you will get a lot of tutorial courses. Okay, a very latest one, you can online coding classes, free Python courses. So you can, and even some video links of YouTube. So from there you can easily learn Python. You can learn all about it. You can learn all about Python programming sitting in the at the comfort of your home. You don't need to attend any institute for learning this. Okay, so this is how you can make use of e-learning. So with this, we end today's class, students. We will be meeting again in the next class. Till then, keep learning and keep
Can I ask a
revising.
question?
Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
Ma'am,
yes, yes,
ma'am,
yes.
can I ask a
We have
question?
not sent unit 8